Hey, I want to show you guys some new AI superpowers that I've got because of this Chrome extension that I'm running over here. And so let's say I'm on a Washington Post story and it's this long article. All I need to do is click this little button and it opens up this side panel and uses MindStudio AI agent to create this summary. You can stretch it out and make it larger. And so you can very quickly scan through the article and understand what it's about, get people and entities that are mentioned in the article, etc., simply with the click of a button. So that's cool. Also, I have a AI agent called Who's Involved. If I click that, again, it reads this page and it extracts all the people and entities that are mentioned in this page. And see, I can see them here. And if I want to do deeper research on any of these people, like Scott Bassent, I don't know much about him, I can just click this button and it'll kick off this really sophisticated AI agent that's going to go out and search Google with these, custom search queries that it creates, and it'll find all of the authoritative sources for information on this person. It's going to compile this really sophisticated report. We actually don't have to wait for it. We can just leave, or if we want, we can toggle this and it'll send me an email when it's done. Again, I just click the button and it did all of that. Or I can be again on this page, for example, and I can click this button, alternatives, and it's going to show me what are alternatives to the Washington Post. So the New York Times, the Guardian, it even gives you a strengths and weaknesses is comparing this to this. So again, really easy to be able to click these things and do that. Or I can be on X and let's say I look up Gary Tan and I can be on Gary's profile. And so one way to understand who Gary is to like read this and like read through his various posts. And of course, all of that takes time. I don't need to do that. If I click the send button, this actually opens up my entire Chrome extension for MindStudio, and it has even more AI agents than the ones that I've pinned here. One of those agents is X Profile Analyzer. So I can just click that. And again, it's going to grab Gary's profile and create this really comprehensive analysis of, who's Gary, what's he about, what does he care about, what are the dominant themes in his content, his engagement patterns, things like that. So it's like really powerful that you can just have that right there with a click of a button. Or we might be in a conversation. Again, there's like a bunch of interesting things going on in this conversation. I could spend hours going through this and reading it, or I can just say X Conversation Analyzer. It's going to grab that, and then it's going to analyze that conversation and again give us all of these like really important um, insights into what's going on, overwhelmingly positive, users expressing enthusiasm, what are the participants, notable quotes. And you get all of this by clicking this little button inside of the extension. So again, this little thing here, you can collapse these, you can move this around, and again, you can pin things, and those are the ones that show up here all the time. Or you can simply click on the M and it will open up the entire directory of these agents. If you go to our main agent page, you'll see about a dozen of these. And so again, a quick summarizer, a really deep researcher that's really powerful that you can, again, trigger directly from here, or you can trigger it from just going to mindstudio.ai and being in your workspace, you'll see a section called agents. And of course, if you have agents that you've started, they're going to be here. If you have agents you've created yourself, they will be here. And then for most people, you're just going to get these agents here with our alpha. You can say view all. And so you can find them here. You can, read about them here. What does this agent do? How much does it cost for average run? What's the average run time? As you can see, 4 minutes. So it takes a while to run, and it goes off and it generates these like really, really sophisticated reports. So first of all, when you give it a query, it breaks it down into sort of a really comprehensive plan. It creates all of these sophisticated Google search queries and executes those search queries. It then grabs all the content from all of the results, so it goes and crawls those web pages and gets the content. evaluates it, and provides for you this like really sophisticated report. Like here are some examples, like a deep investigation of Palantir stock as a function of the Trump effect. And so it gives you some key points. And again, I'm just going to keep scrolling here, with links and citations, like very intelligent analysis of what is going on with Palantir stock in the conclusion. And then at the bottom, it always gives you all of these sources that it used with links to them. So these are like excerpts that it took out of this Yahoo Finance story as part of its report that it generated. So you get all of this simply by pressing a little button, this little run button, either from here or from anywhere where you've got the extension and you've got this, researcher here. Okay. Let me show you a couple of other things. This is a killer feature, obviously. So I love listening to podcasts because there's a lot of information typically there. Joe Rogan speaking with Mark Andreessen. There's a lot of fascinating stuff. But I don't have 3 hours to watch it. I don't even have an hour and a half to watch it, on double speed. But I don't need to do that anymore. I just have this little button. And again, on any video where I am, I can be watching this, click this button, in just a few seconds, I start to get a lot of insights about what's going on in this 3-minute video here. And again, I don't have to wait around for this. I can be watching this video. I can be doing other things. Let's maybe do this here and do alternatives on this. And so Amazon Bedrock is Amazon's infrastructure for running AI. And so you can see other competitors here, Microsoft Azure, Hugging Face, you know, uh, just really, really powerful stuff, again, at the click of a button that you've got here. The other thing, obviously, that's really powerful with MindStudio is that while you can simply log in and get access to these agents and use them and run them and add them to your Chrome extension, but you can also take them and build completely new ones or customize the ones that we've made. So let me first show you the first one. So again, for when you first log in, you will see these agents here. We're constantly adding agents here. Soon, many other people will add agents here. So we're in alpha right now, but expect soon to have hundreds and then thousands of these agents that are available. These are the agents that we've created, and you can take any of these agents and you can make a copy of them. You can run them, sorry, obviously here, and you can also make a copy of them. So if you click here, you'll see make a copy. And so when you do that, it's going to make a complete copy of that MindStudio AI agent and give it to us. And now it's ours to customize. And so we could rename it. And again, here I could say my researcher if I wanted to. We can change its icon, right? And we have access to the entire thing of how this works. Now, if you've never seen MindStudio before, this might feel foreign, but trust me, it's really easy to learn, to use. Just watch a couple of YouTube tutorials that we have, and you're going to be an expert at doing this. And again, this is this really sophisticated researcher I was telling you about, that we can see how it works. Once it gets the request, it builds a research plan to search Google, and then using a model called Claude 3.5 Sonnet from Anthropic. By the way, we support over 50 different models that you can choose from, and you can mix and match them. So Cohere and Anthropic and Google and Meta and obviously OpenAI, and Mistral, many, Perplexity, etc. And then it goes on and creates these search queries. So it generates an array of search queries. Then it goes off and it runs another workflow for each of these queries, and that could be dozens or even hundreds. It goes off and it runs this other workflow over here called run query that has its own flow that searches Google using all of these various JavaScript functions and like really sophisticated stuff. And again, you can take this and you can modify any of these things, right? You can move them around, you can change them. If you break it, don't worry about it, make another copy, and you can do it. So you can very quickly learn how all of this works and be done with it. And this one is a kind of a hard one, but let's just make one from scratch. Let me show you how easy it is to just start making these things. There's two ways you can make them. You can either allow our MindStudio Architect AI agent to build it for you. So you can just tell it what it is you're trying to build and say go. And most of the time it'll get it right or get you very, very close to it being finished. We're not going to do it this way. I want to show you how to do it just with raw, completely starting from scratch. Okay, so I clicked that. Again, on the left-hand side, you've got these interfaces. I'm not going to go through all of them. On the right-hand side, you've got this preview. We're not really going to use it here. All we're really going to do is we're just going to go to this automation section. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to make that AI agent that summarizes any web page that you're on. And so the first thing we need to do to make that the case is go to the start block, and then on triggers, choose browser extension. And you see this section opened up. And so this is an important section to take a look at. So whenever this agent is launched from a Chrome extension, that Chrome extension sends to this agent a series of variables. The URL of the page on which the user is that launched this, the metadata that's available in the code of the page, the visible full text, that's the UI interface that the user is seeing. If the user has selected anything on the page, highlighted or right-clicked, that's available here too. And also the entire raw HTML that runs this page, and JavaScript and CSS and all that, obviously. And all of that comes in automatically as soon as we say trigger this with a browser extension. And again, we're going to make this super, super simple. I'm just going to say plus, and I'm going to say generate text. But again, if you've never seen this before, these are these various blocks we have. Here are some, but there's actually many, many more that allow you to like analyze images and generate all types of different assets, and fetch YouTube transcripts and captions, or information about YouTube, or search Gmail, or search Google Images and Google News and Google Trends, and again, like so many things, sending emails, creating posts on LinkedIn or X, or posting to Slack, or lots of things here. But we're just going to go ahead and make it, again, super simple. I'm just going to say generate text. This just means call a model. And so I'm just going to say create a TLDR of this content. And here, with double curly braces, that's how we reference variables, we're going to reference this variable full text. Now, it's case sensitive, so you got to make sure you get it right. So FULL text. Okay, and then here you can say either display to user, or you can say save to a variable, and then give it a variable name, and then continue down this path and create more blocks that then could leverage that variable name. Here, I'm just going to say display to user. Okay, and that's it. And we've actually already made this AI agent. Again, right now it's called untitled. Let's call it TLDR. Again, we could give it an icon. I don't know if I've got any icons here. I've got the sex icon. Okay, I'll give it this blogger icon. Okay. Obviously, you can give it any icon. And then you can publish it. And then that agent is available in our Chrome extension. So let's go ahead and use it. And so let's go find another article here. And now again, we've got access to our worker here. You can just click on this button. And here I'm just going to find it like this through search. There it is. And we can run it. And this is the worker that we just made, again, in just a couple of minutes, simply by having one block that's there to generate text, and that's it. And obviously, as you add more blocks, I showed you that deep researcher one that had many different blocks. You can very quickly build these things. Here's that TLDR worker we've built. I can take this, I can add it to my start, I can pin it on my extension, which means it's going to show up here. There it is. And so everywhere I go now, I now have one of these things. And so again, play around with this. It's really easy to build these things. You can go to our YouTube channel, and we've got many tutorials there that you can watch, including this webinar we just did that's an hour and 14 minutes. And here's another one that's 15 minutes. There's a bunch of other videos, if you get fascinated by this, that you can watch and learn how to build these really, really powerful, I've been calling them AI superpowers. And so hopefully you guys play around with them, and please give us some feedback on that. things.